But let's go over where we went right and where we went wrong tonight, gentlemen, because I was impressed with Daniel Hill scoring a touchdown tonight, but as you stated to start off the show, Jeffrey, that pick six hurt us big time. And it was just ugly right there.
Oklahoma did not deserve to win. I mean, it's just flat out. They had 212 yards of offense. We had 400 yards of offense. Ty Simpson threw for over 300 yards. Mateer threw for 138. Yards don't win you games. Points do. And we gave them points. Pick six. That's on us. Fumbles, giving them short fields. That's on us. Missing the field goal is on us. Don't care if it was blocked or not. Oklahoma, yeah, their defense played good. I mean, that is great. And they were, a big reason why, we did turn the ball over. So, I mean, they deserve credit. I'm not saying when I say they deserve to win is that they were just completely bad. I'm saying that we should have won the game, but we blew it. It's our complete fault that we lost. And it just felt like last week, the LSU game, we did not play very well in that game, in the win. And there were red flags. The team just kind of started to seem like they were starting to coast. The South Carolina game weren't great for the vast majority of that game either, but we found a way to win. We haven't been playing as good as we were in that 4-game win streak against ranked teams that we had earlier in the year. We were playing better football then than we're playing now. But in this game today, we played better today than we did against LSU. It's just Oklahoma, for one, is a lot better than LSU. And number two, the turnovers we had, it would have been completely different if those turnovers did not directly result in Oklahoma points. But they did because of the fact the pick six directly did. And then the other time, especially that one turnover, it put Oklahoma right there at like the 25 where they could just score like that. So, again, we lost the game. Like, as good as Oklahoma was defensively, again, credit to them. We shot ourselves in the foot. That's why we lost. Now we're going to have to regroup, figure it out, and not do it again, because if we do it again this season, then we could find ourselves not making the college football playoffs suddenly. Can't lose to Auburn. Can't have a bad game in the SEC title game, because if you do, you might get left out. So it's not good. It's just definitely not good for Alabama. It's sad because it would have been completely different if Oklahoma had played a A-plus game and they had to beat us, but Oklahoma probably at best played a B-minus game. Maybe C+, and they beat us in our own building because of our mistakes. I'm going to keep harping on it all show, too, because we are the reason we lost. It was not them. It was us.
And it's the first time since September 9th of 2023 that we have lost at home.
First time in the DeBoer era.
Yep. 17-game home winning streak has snapped as of tonight. But, Travion, I saw something tonight where you talked about the third quarter, how we hadn't scored a touchdown in the third quarter prior to today until we scored. Like, tell the audience a little bit about that, good buddy.
Yeah, and for me, I'm in complete agreement with what Jeffrey is saying. Pretty much, it's basically a big snowball effect of what's been going on over the past 4 to 5, maybe 6 weeks. Just with Alabama on the offensive side of the football, particularly, just not being able to score points at all, literally, and the defenses continue to bail them out in situations time and time again with short fields, limiting the opposing offense to field goals and things of that nature. But today, the camel really just broke his back. Like it's really upsetting to see. You got all that talent on the perimeter in the Jeremy Bernard, in the Isaiah Horton, in the Ryan Williams, a lot Sir Brooks and things of that nature, but they still cannot score points. You got Josh Cuevas dicing them up down the middle and continuing to be a reliable target. He had one drop today, but still pretty much reliable throughout the stretch of the season. And they continue they continue to for some reason struggle scoring points, and it's just really disappointing. And you look at the game today, they scored one touchdown in the third quarter, but going back to previous weeks, you saw versus LSU, they got outscored 6-0 in the LSU game versus South Carolina. Uh, Going back prior in the bye week, they were outscored 7-0 in the third quarter. They didn't score any points until the final 2 minutes of the game when they had to. And then you go back just to other games, just like versus Georgia, they only scored probably about I think it was 7 or 10 points in the second half of that game just to help them win. And
Yeah.
it's just it's been a reoccurring pattern, and now you're seeing it bite this Alabama football team in the butt. Literally, it's literally their Achilles heel, and you can only ask the defense to do so much because. Like Jeffrey said, Oklahoma did not win this football game. Literally, you gave them 17 points off of two turnovers, and then after that, you have a fumble to start the fourth quarter, and then just not scoring, and then when we did get a threat of the run game today with Daniel Hill picking up those two touchdowns, I think he had over 80 yards on the ground, and then just catching the ball throughout the backfield. Him and Jam Miller both picking up yards. Even when we did have that, still the same. They just still couldn't get things going on the offensive side of the ball, and that was a concern because if I'm seeing it, I know opposing defenses are seeing it. Those college football playoff defenses that they will be facing in the playoffs, they're seeing it, and when they start to see that, they can start to see the weaknesses in this Alabama offense. And now, unfortunately, it's gotten to this point. I'm not going to try to bail on them too much because it's not a season-ending loss. It's not a crippling loss
No.
that'll anything of that nature, but still the same. Now you essentially going to Jordan Hare on the road versus Auburn, needing to win that game to convince the college football playoff committee that you are a playoff team, and plus Kalen DeBoer needing to get to that 10 win mark. That just makes it even harder now because that I mean it doesn't make it harder now. It just gives them more pressure. If you get what I'm saying, because
Oh,
last year being at 9-3, and then this year at 8-2. Now you got to win the final two games. So that's just more added pressure onto this Alabama football team, and it easily could have been avoided with a good performance today. The defense did all they need to do to win. The offense did not show up today, and that is why they lost this football game. So those are my initial thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, to answer
well,
Godfather's statement here, I hope they don't drop Bama out of the top 12.
oh,
They're
we're
not
still
going
in
to
the
drop Alabama out
no,
of the top 12. So
They
we are
shouldn't.
absolutely fine in that regard. We're
nah.
probably going to be like ninth. We're going to be like
Yeah.
ninth or 10th. I would say ninth. Oklahoma's probably going to be eighth now. But the thing is that the ranking doesn't matter. What you said, Travion, is absolutely correct. The margin for error is gone. Because obviously we win this game and you lose it to Auburn. You're in the same situation, but now you're putting yourself in the position where we have to win that game. It's a completely different mindset. It becomes a game that you have to win instead of a game that you should win and would like to win, but it now is a must win. And like I said, this is the scenario that to me is the absolute worst scenario that could have happened is to lose now, because if Alabama beats Auburn, we're going to make the SEC title game. If we lose in the SEC title game, we have 3 losses again. Suddenly, just like last year, we'll be 10-3 instead of 9-3. Are we left out?
I
I know
don't.
people are going to be like, we're in the SEC title game. They're not going to leave us out. But if
No.
you get shellacked in that game, if you play Texas A&M or you play Georgia, whoever you play, and you get just blown out, then you could get left out. I'm just saying that Alabama's now put themselves in a position where they could get left out. Whereas before we were like, oh, we're fine. We're 4th in the country. It's all good. Now everything's changed. We're still fine. We're still in the playoff field. It was the rankings coming on Tuesday. We're still gonna be in the top 12. But now the margin for error is gone. It puts more pressure on, and now there's a better chance we might not make the playoffs instead of being a sure thing.
Yeah. And Coach Burt's in the chat saying the missed tackle on Alabama's first punt, the player tried to knock the return down instead of throwing his arms, wrapping him up, was the play that cost Alabama in this game. That's definitely one of the plays for sure.
Yeah, and it's just small things like that that, like I said, just end up being a big snowball effect over time. You get away with certain things throughout other games, and you see today versus a even more talented team. Those things are gonna happen. I mean, even though Oklahoma didn't show up offensively like they have versus other teams, they still have enough talent and things of that nature capitalize on the mistakes that Alabama's going to make, and you're going to get more talented teams that can not only capitalize, but they can put you away themselves. So that's just like I said, it's just real disappointing to see from an offensive standpoint. At the beginning of the year, I came into the year, me personally, thinking that the offense was the strength of this team, but now it's completely upside down for me. I believe the defense is the strength of this team. If I had to get a touchdown or a stop, and they're asking me what unit I would rather trust, I'm going Kane Warmack in that defense right now. Just off of the way that they're playing, they're not being hesitant. Alabama on offense, they continue to make the same mistakes, and unfortunately, it showed up today. So
I know 90% of people don't care about this, but also an underrated element is that Todd Simpson completely destroyed his Heisman campaign. It's done. It's over.
Yeah, it's done.
I don't care that he threw for 300 yards. I don't care that he threw a touchdown. He's done. It's over, because just optically the amount of mental errors, bad throws in this game that he had at home, and now your other two Heisman candidates are undefeated teams with their starting quarterbacks. It's done. You're not going to be able to win the Heisman now after Todd Simpson. His odds are he's pretty much toast. It would take an epic collapse from Mendoza or Sayin to give Todd Simpson a chance to win the Heisman. I mean, even you got Marcel Reed over there. Yeah, he's not a Heisman candidate.
Yeah.
I don't care what A&M fans are saying, or Dante Moore. None of those dudes are candidates. Really, it's Simpson, or not Simpson. It was Simpson before this game, but it's Sayin and Mendoza. But unfortunately, Simpson's out of the race pretty much to me now. He's done. And again, I know most people probably don't care, but it's just another thing that sucks about this game.
Yeah. Man, I'm just kind of looking at the stats for this game. And our kicking game, I'm really worried about our kicking game. It's not good. From Connor Talty, like
literally, Jackson, if he hits the field goal, we win. Like the pick six, if you don't have that, we win. But if you hit the field goal, we win. Like, because like Travion said, our defense was really good today. Literally, the field goal. Like you have to hit field goals, man. They matter. And what's so frustrating is like people are trashing Talty to death right now because of his reaction after the play. Now I understand people are saying in hindsight it looked like it might have been blocked. Maybe, I don't know.
No.
But the snap was a little high, but the hold was fine. And they got the 8-yard gain to make it closer. It was a very easy field goal. 36 yards, not that bad. Left hash for a right kicker's not hard. Unless it was tipped, which I've seen it a couple times. I don't know for sure. I don't want to say that it was when it wasn't, or that it wasn't when it was. I have no idea. But at the end of the day, like his reaction to that, like going off at the snapper, I don't know their relationship or what's going on there, but that was a bad look for him. He's getting roasted really badly online. Unfortunately, we live in an era where everything's caught on camera, everything that happens during a game. I don't know if you saw the A&M guy that ran into that South Carolina player, Nick Harbor, that A&M like Army dude or what, some dude dressed in some outfit or whatever, like officer looking thing. People are trashing that dude. Like, everybody's trashing everybody. If they see anything they don't like that gets caught on camera, you get roasted. And Talty right now is getting roasted just because of that reaction. And the fact that ended up ultimately losing the game for us. So it's rough. We got to get our kicking game figured out.
Yeah, and with Talty, I just think it's just a series of weeks of things that have just built up. He's had these misses throughout these other games, and Alabama, it hasn't cost us this much, but now it's starting to cost us. And it's the fact that they don't really have anybody else they can go to in that predicament. Talty was supposed to be the veteran kicker that was ready to step up after we lost the services of who was the kicker last year? I forgot his name. They had a good Australian kicker last year. He was Talty was supposed to step up and keep it going.
I think we need to go back to Australia to see.
Yeah, Riker was great for us the last few years, but he was our kicker last year, Jackson.
I know who it is. I forgot, man.
I remember Riker. That's all. Riker was amazing, Nicholson. I forgot who it was.
Graham Nicholson and was our
James
kicker.
James Burnip.
Yep, James Burnett.
James
Yeah.
Burnett was clutch. Yeah, James Burnett.
Well,
We
we
don't have
got
a James Burnett on
Nicholson
this
from the
roster.
portal last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miami, Ohio, because I heard Chuck Martin making a fuss about it.
Yeah. Saying we stole their
He
kicker.
threw,
Shoot,
he
we need
threw
to
his
go.
fit at the grocery store about it.
Yeah, we need to
Unfortunately,
go
it's kind of
steal.
hard to compete Miami, Ohio. Sorry.
The cradle coaches.
Yeah, we need to go steal another kicker from the portal because man, it's bad, and it's just real unfortunate. Like I said, that it's gotten to this point, and now that it's costing us games, and there's really no replacement for him at this time. You kind of stuck with what you got, And I don't know if
Mm.
this is a mental thing, whatever going on, but like Jeffrey said, that's just not a good look moving forward. And now, Alabama's probably going to be put in another situation where we need a critical field goal, and it's like, can we turn the tall to? Can we trust that operation from punter to kicker? I mean, from holder to kicker, and things of that. So yeah, not a lot of positives from today's loss, man. And I
Mm.
really didn't think I'd be talking about a loss today, but you're
Well,
gonna lose. You give the team 17 points and you don't score in the second half but one time, and
Mm.
you do stuff like that.
Always
well,
go back to Joe Burrow 2019 game
yeah.
that we lost. It's like, okay, you lose that game, and okay, Steve, I'm gonna get to your comment. I'm gonna get to your comment, but 2019 LSU game, we lost. Most Bama fans were like, okay, it is what it is. That was a heck of a game. That was just an A+ game. Both teams battling. LSU's loaded. We lost. Okay. Not every loss is going to be like that. But the problem with this game is that if Oklahoma had have played a elite game and they beat us in a close thriller, people still be upset. But it's how we lost. And it goes back to last year. It's how we lost. Obviously, this loss is nowhere near as bad as last year's Oklahoma loss. Because last year's Oklahoma loss, I don't know if almost anything can top that. That was insanely bad. But this is still bad. Like, because Steve's comment here, give Oklahoma some credit. I literally did. You probably weren't on here yet. I literally did. I said their defense played good. Got the turnovers. Good. But their offense didn't do jack. Mateer, 138. Ground game, didn't do squat. We outgained them double.
That's right.
We played a lot better than them, Steve, except for the turnovers, except for the missed field goal. That's why I keep harping on it. You cannot give Oklahoma too much credit, man. You can give them some credit. They played all right, but 3 of 13 on third down, that's some credit right there. 3 of 13 on third down. 138 passing yards. I'm sorry. The only thing they really did good in this game was turn us over, and they didn't turn it over. Because other than that, their offense really wasn't that good. It really wasn't that good, man. I'm sorry. 74 rushing yards in the entire game. That's not that great. They just weren't that great, Steve. Oklahoma beat us because we beat ourselves. We deserve to lose. I'm not denying that, but we can't go out there like some people are already saying Oklahoma might be a top 5. I've heard the same people say Miami was the best team in the country this year. I've heard the exact same people say that Notre Dame was the best team in the country at one point, or Penn State, or Texas, or Texas Tech, or Texas A&M even.
Can we
Who
give
cares?
Blaine
You win,
Crane
Oklahoma. If you
to
make the playoffs, do something. Good for you. It's a good win. It's a great win. And if
can
I
we
was an
give Blaine
Oklahoma fan,
Crane
I
to
would be
Coach
thrilled right now.
Stroger?
But you can't go out there and say that Oklahoma deserves all this credit and that they were amazing. No, they were all right, man. They were all right. We shot ourselves in the foot.
Yep.
It's just the way that it is.
And
If
as
I was an
Jeff,
Oklahoma fan, I would be like, man, I am happy we won. But, man, Alabama gave us the game. They really did. But I'm sure most Oklahoma fans aren't saying that because as a fan, it is hard to. Maybe I will be wrong. Maybe if I was an Oklahoma fan, I'd be just going crazy right now. But you know what? Sometimes you got to be realistic. We blew the game.
But we all did agree when we did predictions on this game where Jeffrey made predictions, Travion and myself did, where Parker Thune joined me Tuesday night for the Thursday video for the final preview, and Chad Tierney and Josh all agreed was this would be a low-scoring game. This is exactly how we all thought this was going to be. The defenses were ready to rock and roll. Yep, that's what you came here for, Steve. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't
Travion,
get mad at Steve. He's great.
if you ever want to
he
get,
knows how to push the buttons. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, he does it to kind of do the mess around every now and again. But yeah, as Jeffrey stated, and as the stats showed, the total yards, we outgained them in passing yards and rushing yards. But Oklahoma did not have a good day on offense. But there again, they stepped it up with the defense. And as we stated through Monday night, Tuesday night, all right here on Alabama Voice College Football. And when I appeared on with the Center Smiths Monday night, all of us stated defense was going to be a key to victory for both teams. Put enough pressure on the QBs, you're good to go. You were more than good to go. Because I mean, like there was a lot of pressure on Ty Simpson tonight. Like
I
Kip
feel like he
Lewis.
needs to throw the ball away more.
Oh yeah, like Kip.
Sometimes he
I
really
think
should.
yeah, like our Mason Thomas not being there tonight for Oklahoma, that was a huge loss. But they were like, you know what? No problem. We got our guys. We got you. We got you, Mr. Thomas. And
yeah,
Mr.
and
Lewis. Go ahead.
yeah, and it's just the fact that Mason Thomas wasn't there, and that Alabama offensive line still gave up 4 sacks without Oklahoma having their most experienced pass rusher. That speaks volumes just about the difficulty they were having on offense. And then you look at like just some of the other mental errors. We can't not exclude what's going on with Ryan Williams. He continues just to have those mental errors in the game. You saw he on special teams he had a fumble, and then just other things like with Ty Simpson not throwing away the football, and that's the knock on him, just not being able to throw away the football. And it's just those things just help you beat yourself, and that's really what happened tonight. And that's just like I said, it's just all unfortunate to me.
Yeah,
Agreed.
because I mean, last year's Oklahoma game that was worse than this one. It was bad. We gave him that game too. Because I mean, literally, Milroe, the pick sixes. It's like that was just abysmal. Literally, my brain when Ty Simpson threw the pick six just immediately went to that. I'm like, here we go again. Are we doing this again? I can't believe it. I mean, we put up 3 points last year. Like I said, nothing was as bad as last year's game. But, I mean, we lost the game the exact same way we lost the game last year. Because it's not like Oklahoma last year was all that great. They weren't playing all that good. They were having a pretty bad year. But we allowed Jackson Arnold to kind of run all over us. I mean, we didn't allow Mateer to do that. We actually shut down Mateer pretty good. But just the mistakes. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what Brent Venables has got going on, man. But, I mean, because obviously he was defensive coordinator at Clemson when Clemson used to beat us back in the day. So, I mean, I don't know, man. He's got some type of magic against Alabama. I don't know. Like, it's crazy because last 2 years, I mean, we've played I can't say worst game of the year this year because Florida State was worse, but in context of when it was in the season, worst games of the year for us. Like, because the way we were playing up to this point, I don't think most people thought Alabama would lose this game. There was some, but it looked like we were going to be fine the rest of the way. Last year, after the Vandy game, we turned it around with the LSU performance and then just laid the egg against Oklahoma. Like, we're losing to Oklahoma very, very late in the season the last few years in games that we were thought to win. Pretty comfortable.
Yeah,
it's just
and
weird.
it just goes.
The IT guy of Alabama with the Voice of College Football, the Jet Stallion, makes an excellent point. Bama needs a better kicker. No worries there. We are making sure we've got that covered, IT guy.
I mean, at this point in the season, you are kind of stuck with what you're stuck with. We got kind of tall to we have no other option, so we pretty much got to either operate as if we don't have a kicker, or we need to, or Connor Talty needs to build up his trust overall and get back being a confident kicker that we know he can be. But what Jeffrey was saying that these kind of losses, it just seems like these losses are coming in the same type of way. Like it's the same type of things that are happening over and over again in these type of losses. Like you would think that that would be. I mean, it's been better from last year to this year, but it just feels like when Alabama loses, under Kalen DeBoer, the losses are kind of in the same type of mannerisms, the same type of characteristics or lack thereof happen in those type of games, and it's something that this Alabama football team still has to learn how to get over.
Mm.
And that's yet to be seen. We'll have to see within these last two games and in the playoffs. There's no room, no margin for error there. So we'll have to
There
see.
we go.
And I underrated thing about Oklahoma too that I think that a lot of people are not talking about is that this team probably is better than their record and ranking. And to begin with, they lost their quarterback John Mateer, for a decent amount of the season, and that's when their losses were starting to happen. That's when it looked like they were going to fall out of the playoff picture. Again, we played better than them outside of the turnovers. I'm just giving Oklahoma credit that they are really good. They are a really good team. I mean, like if Mateer was still kind of banged up against Ole Miss, like he was just coming back in that game. They lose that one. The Texas game, yeah, he was just terrible in that one. He just was coming off the injury. Like Oklahoma is a really good team. They are really good. They've improved dramatically this year. And I like Mateer. At one point, he was the Heisman favorite before his injury. I mean, people forget that. Like, I mean, it's no one cares about Heisman favorites after 3 weeks of the season, but he was there. So I mean, it's not a bad loss when like last year's when you look at Oklahoma as a team, and if you spin that story around, I mean, but it's just how he lost. Again, it's how he lost. The losses under DeBoer have been painful. Like when we would lose with Saban, it was rarely that it was painful. With the losses under DeBoer, the 2 this season and the 4 last year, they were all painful. They were all just sad losses. That's the issue that people have. When we lose, it just looks bad. Yeah, it just looks really, really bad.
That's what I was saying.
But I will say, Josh. Oh, go ahead.
I
was going to say Josh Cuevas. He played a great game tonight. That was what kept us in the game a lot tonight.
Went away from him though, man, in the 4th. He didn't have a catch in the 4th, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, that was probably the best game. And that was probably the best game he's had in the Alabama uniform as far as being a receiving threat in the passing game. But overall, when I think about this loss, it's just the fact that now that when the college football committee does the rankings, now when they look at Oklahoma and Alabama, they're going to respect the head to head. So does that give the SEC another playoff team from the conference? And who does that boot out? Because they were already having the argument: should there be 5 teams in, and things of that nature. But now that Oklahoma has won and they kind of knocked off Alabama, it was Alabama and Texas A&M were kind of at a collision course for the SEC title game. But now that Oklahoma has won, where does we're going to see where Alabama fits. They still should be in the top 12, but you know that just goes back to what is their margin for error now when they go if they do make it to the SEC title game. If they were to lose in the SEC title game and Oklahoma has that win over them, will the committee respect head to head? So now we're going to be hearing those type of arguments and arguments. Can Kalen DeBoer get to the 10 win mark? They should win. They're gonna win next week, but still the same. That 10 win mark is heavy, and Kellen DeBoer still haven't got there. So they would have been taking a step closer there. But now you instead of doing that, you open up all these other questions. So that's
for sure.
Just real unfortunate what comes with that loss.
This comment from Rough Rider returns, just really quick. No secret, everyone gets pumped up against Alabama. This is the issue when you're a great program, though. Every team has this problem. Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, Indiana's getting the treatment now. Look at Penn State versus Indiana. These type of teams, when you're winning and you're up there, you're going to get every team's best shot. South Carolina, for 2 quarters, looked like the best team in the country. 2 quarters. Amazing. Just couldn't do no wrong. 30-3 today. 30-3. And then A&M came back somehow and won that thing. But, A&M now, the Arkansas game, which I know people keep saying Arkansas barely loses to everybody. It's still a loss. It's still 2021 Nebraska all over again. And then you've got A&M today, and then the A&M game against Auburn. Like, good teams have bad games. It's about finding ways to win. If we had a win today, no one would have said anything. Oh, well, we didn't play that great, but a win's a win, all that stuff. But we didn't win, and that's the difference. But I mean, all the teams at the top are hunted. Everyone's going to give them their best shot. I mean, I think Alabama's the added benefit because it is Alabama, but still, every team up there has that problem where every team's going to give you your best shot. Like, hey, we want to knock them off. Like, everyone wants to knock them off. And with Auburn, like I said, Auburn fans hate when I say this. They get mad when I say this, but I'll say it again. They show up for 2 games a year. Georgia and Alabama. Every year, it's the same. Their season, like, you might as well just go 0-10 the rest of the games. Just not even show up for the other 10 games and just play 2 games a year. Just play 2 games. Not just completely remove yourself from bowl eligibility. Don't even bother with the playoffs. You just play 2 games a year because that's all they care about. Because I watched their other games and they just look lifeless. But you know what? I can guarantee you that the Iron Bowl, they're going to give us their best shot. So we better be careful in that game.
Oh, for sure. And before we get to the SEC title scenarios for us and what we still got left to play for, because this loss did not knock us out. It's not like 2015. It's not like 2005 where 2 losses knocks you out. You're still in, ladies and gentlemen.